NASDAQ market just experienced its largest point decline in history. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing Friday. At least if, again, you shorted the market, you probably did. If you were long or bag holding, you probably didn't. It was a pretty tough market, and it was nonstop, right? From the moment the market opened to the moment the market closed, and even during the extended hours. Markets sold off, consistent lower highs and lower lows. Again, are we surprised by this? Every time that there was a peace deal, markets rallied. When the peace deal fell apart, markets still rallied. They never sold off. When there was any form of economic report or inflation report that was released that came in worse than what was expected, markets still found a way to end the day in the green. This sell-off, although it could have never been predicted to have happened in such a significant manner, I think a lot of people would agree that it was long overdue. A lot of you guys know that if you're familiar with my videos, especially at these elevated levels, I was itching to short the market, and our team did very well today. With that being said, our team, our LPP team, most of them that are shorting are not complete beginners. I've always been very clear and very straightforward with you guys that shorting comes at a greater form of risk, and I would not encourage it if you're just getting started, because if you're just getting started, you're likely to make the same mistake that BTC bag holders made at elevated levels. You have no plan, you get greedy, you don't take profits, you don't manage risk, and direction turns against you, right? That's the last thing that you want when shorting, because markets are more bullish than bearish. And that's what I really wanted to talk about. Maybe not in this video, because I just wanted to update you on the tensions in the Middle East and how the markets ended. But I was thinking maybe over the weekend I can make a video of the series of companies that got hit pretty hard, but fundamentally speaking are actually decent companies, right? I'm not going to be talking about bullshit companies that I don't believe in, like Irene and NBIS, that yes, they are very trendy, but I just don't see value in them in any way. With that being said, there are a lot of companies that have gathered a lot of attention, a lot of hype, but also fundamentally speaking are fair deals. Companies like maybe Micron, companies like SanDisk, companies like, I don't know why it's not here if these are some of the big hitters today, but yeah, it's not here. We got Micron, we got AMD is definitely one of them. We have SanDisk, and then the other one that I quickly wanted to talk about was Marvel again and Dell. They took very big hits today, and I wanted to make sure that, yeah, although they are down 6 to 7% on the day or 10 to 20% on the past week, they took a decent hit and they might sell off even further. I want to continue to entertain that idea. But what's one thing that we know? Beginners should not short. Why? Because they don't know how to manage risk or take profits. With that being said, what's one thing a beginner should always be encouraged to do? During uncertain times, if they have cash available and they know and understand and can understand how to buy a stock with the intention to invest in it long term, then why not talk about 3 or 5 different fundamentally good companies that are growing at an accelerated rate to possibly invest in? And that's the video that I wanted to make. I wanted to talk about 3 or maybe 5 different, a lot of, in the big focus, semiconductor companies that have recently sold off. They can continue to sell off, and I want that to be understood, but that are decent deals and that I wouldn't mind investing in long term. As markets were crashing today, again, I got really excited because anytime moments like this happen, yes, I'm shorting the markets intraday and I make some money that way, but I also love picking up deals. I want to buy and invest in companies for my daughter, for my son. With that being said, I need to make sure that I do it in a calculated way. So that's what I wanted to talk about in the video, not just the series of companies, not just technically and fundamentally analyzing them, but also how I would plan to go about it when it comes down to position size management and actually buying them and then averaging up once direction becomes favorable. If you guys would like me to make that video, all I literally ask you to do is drop a thumbs up and let me know down in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to later end up finding out once I actually upload it. With that being said, the big focus right now is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been getting wrecked ever since Michael Saylor announced his sale of like 32 Bitcoins. It's not about how much he sold, but that he did sell. It was a change of sentiment. He was certain in encouraging everyone to never sell. And now he did the one thing that he always promised to never do, and that was sell BTC. For a moment today, we broke below 60,000. And being quite honest with you, it wasn't as significant as I thought. We broke below 60 at 59,150, but then we quickly recovered. Now, this is what I want to pay attention to. There's a shift that's happening in the overall market, but there's also a lot of uncertainty that's happening with BTC. It's almost the perfect storm. I want to see over the weekend, with not just tensions in the Middle East that do influence the market, but there's also a lot of uncertainty about the Federal Reserve's ability to actually cut rates this year. Again, we'll talk about that maybe later next week, but there's an expectation for possibly a rate hike. That would kill Bitcoin and overall markets even more. That would instill more fear, as it would now make it more expensive for people like you and I and businesses to borrow money. So that is something that I want to also touch on, but that is currently what's injecting some fear and uncertainty in the market. Yes, this correction was long overdue. No, we could have not predicted it. How could you have prepared? You simply could have not been over leveraged at overbought levels, so once it did present itself, it doesn't scare the poop out of you. It maybe excites you because now you have money left on the side that you can actually buy at cheaper levels. That simple, right? Beginners should not short. You don't need to predict. All you need to do is prepare. Again, I know it's repetitive, but these are the concepts that we teach in LPP. Some of you have good understandings of the market, but simply just a bad foundation or bad core principles. If you are trying to understand the market in a little bit more of a calculated and an intentional way, everything from being able to plan out your trade to understanding your success rate to watching me trade live every day, and also access to the A to Z video lesson library. It's a one-time payment. It's lifetime access. It's going to be the second link in the description down below, and we're going to offer it to you for 50% off. Again, we have members that signed up back in 2018 that still have access to it today, and they only paid once. So whenever it is that you're ready to join, it's going to be the second link down below. Again, once you sign up, we'll see you on Monday at Market Open for our live session. I appreciate your time. Hope that we're in the thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.